So yeah, it's actually my birthday today and I got some new shoes, believe it or not. This is the Nike Pegasus Plus, which I've been awaiting. So let's just do a quick little weigh-in here. I have the Turbo 2 as a reference here. This has always been one of my favorite daily trainers. And let's do this one first. So the Turbo 2 comes in at 194 grams. And now the new Plus is 212 grams. So yeah, it's a bit of a weight gain. But let's just put these side by side here and see it's also a gain in stack height as well. And just the upper material, there's much more to it now, where the Turbo 2 was really quite minimal, not much of a heel counter, and everything was super thin and no real padding to the tongue. Just walking around with one on each foot here, you immediately notice the higher stack height in the Pegasus Plus. Anyway, I don't want to make this section of the video too long, and I think it's about time to take these for a run, and see you there. Alright, so good morning. Doing something that some YouTubers wouldn't think is even possible with this one, and that is taking it out on a long run. Yeah, on the menu we have 80 minutes at moderate effort, so should be around 19, maybe 20 kilometers. And yeah, I have to say the heck almost set turbo. Yeah, this Pegasus Plus here. Now, how do I say this? I would say my first initial reaction feels pretty familiar in a way. Like, this is nothing radically new, like the original Turbo was 5 years ago. It sort of feels like a shoe that kind of sits between the Turbo and the regular Pegasus for me. Feels like it has a lot of elements of both shoes, really. Yeah, I'm actually trying to get to the airport here and see if we can spot some planes. Alright, so welcome to Luxembourg Airport here. Definitely a cool spot to do some plane spotting if that's something you're interested in. Yeah, let's jog over to this bench here. Just want to point out something about the upper. What I'm noticing is it has a kind of shallow toe box, and I'm not quite sure if this is because of this racing stripe that sort of sits a bit elevated here, but you do sort of feel the material pressing down on your toes a bit. And I have to say, otherwise this upper is fitting absolutely beautifully. Yeah, I have to say, in a way, I'm kind of glad that they're calling this a Pegasus Plus now and not a Turbo 3, because it really does feel more like a sort of premium version of the regular Pegasus in a way. Just a classic Pegasus geometry to this, really. Yeah, it just doesn't feel overly rockered or anything, but you do have the traditional high drop of 10 millimeters, so I don't know, it does feel a bit more... Yeah, makes it feel relatively aggressive underfoot, like it tips you on your forefoot. Yeah, this is a shoe I was quite hyped about initially, and I think we all were when we heard that this is actually full Zoom X foam now. So there's no carrier or slither of React like in the original Peg Turbo. I have to say, well, it's not quite living up to the hype for me. It's feeling a lot more standard than expected, and I think this Zoom X foam is definitely not the same as we have in the Vaporflies and Alphaflies and the likes. It is quite a bit firmer, I find, and yeah, sort of has a more, I mean, I'm wearing gloves, but has a more sort of rubbery texture to it, and just seems a bit more tamed and gentle in a way. Yeah, now don't get me wrong, this shoe feels good. It feels really good, actually, but I think we were all just sort of expecting this to be the next big revolutionary thing, and so far it just isn't. Pretty cold today. I'm wearing arm sleeves and gloves again, but yeah, some really nice sunshine for sure. Yeah, I do have to say that as much as I want to love this shoe, I do sort of have to admit it's 180 euros, and the Mach 6 and the Rebel V4 are both 160. Those shoes are also a bit lighter, and I mean, of course, if you want the high drop that this shoe offers, which the Mach 6 and the Rebel V4 don't, then yeah, this is going to be the shoe for you. Look at the size of this tree trunk here. But one thing you do sort of notice immediately with this one, especially comparing it to the original Peg Turbo, is this wider base that it has now. And this is something that most shoes sort of are trending towards today. And yeah, it does make it feel a bit more sort of stable underfoot. But at the same time, it does take away some of the fun factor, I want to say. Like, it just feels a bit more connected to the ground and less of this sort of feeling of getting up and going. It only makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, if you want a ultralight and minimal speed shoe, then nowadays, well, Nike has the Streak Fly for that. This kind of lightweight, slightly up-tempo daily trainer was kind of missing in the lineup. So yeah, if you're expecting this to be like the reincarnation of the Peg Turbo, well, it feels related, but it's not quite the same intention, really. It's definitely shifted more in the sort of daily trainer end of the spectrum. Ooh, quite the hill here. So yeah, I think that's about it on the Pegasus Plus here. This is a good shoe. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I do have to say it's 2024, and for 180 euros, I think I was just expecting a bit more from this. Like, it's just not really exciting me all that much. It definitely feels like a great shoe for these easy or moderate runs, but yeah, just not really blowing me away. Okay, so before I drive home here, just want to give some additional thoughts on this Pegasus Plus here, because I feel like I may have been a bit negative on this, which I didn't mean to, because this is a great shoe and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, apart from being maybe 20 euros too expensive. Yeah, just want you to be aware of what you're getting here. This is not some super amazing speed trainer, and it's certainly not really a race shoe. This is basically just a direct upgrade to the regular Pegasus, and really is objectively better in my opinion. Just don't expect to buy anything here that it's not meant to be, and I think you'll be very happy with this shoe. And yeah, you will see more videos on this, so stay tuned.